in whatever role they need, and that's the sub players. We'll see if they can do it here.
Yeah, we are going to get ourselves into the first match. Aero Kings against Prospect. Or
Prophecy.
Prophecy.
We will give you guys into a little secret that we can't see the very top of the team names on our screen, so forgive Shogun for Prospect.
It's like being able to see half of your watch. Prospect would be a pretty good team name.
It's just about as far from Prophecy as we could get, though, I have to say. We'll have to call them Prospect from now on. Certainly no Prospect play from Mummy Snow, recovering twice to get the first chance of the game. Certainly solid on the ground. And another thing to note about sub players is that they're often very easy on the eyes in terms of spectating, because players like Karma said, who are malleable, are also very good at just following the game and seeing where they slot in, and that is very, very good to watch from a spectator standpoint.
Yep, see multiple double commits so far by Aero Kings, but they've always had a player just rotating back in time, but this time around, they're gonna get away with it again. Prospect.
Mantis, look at this.
I've started doing it now. Prospect is now stuck in my head. Prophecy are continuing to lather on the offensive pressure. As Mummy Snow just gonna tap that over. Flark. It's actually Flarky. He did speak to me about that today.
He's
definitely Flarky.
Tiara and the Rose on show, as always. You'll never see him playing without these. One of the reasons he can never play the Batmobile. No hats.
I mean, that's the reason why the Mantis was pretty much released, wasn't it? Just so you can play Batmobile,
I've got to think so.
You can change around it a little bit more.
What a shame that Cux didn't play it, and then everybody would follow.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right with that as well. Sniper is going to take that up the sidewall. We are still all tied up. Yet again, no follow-up. It seems like the second man coming in for the shot is just a little bit slower for Prophecy. But it has meant that they can continue to control the pressure. And if at any point Aero Kings find themselves low on boost, they will be scored on. They need to keep it away. There is a miss by Cheerio, but the shot was not on target. And Aero Kings, they are holding on, but they do not look like they are in any position to get some sort of aggression going.
Yes, this looked honestly very messy from both teams. They'll look to hit the ball much more cleanly as we progress here. A lot of fluffed shots and fluffed passes, mainly from Prophecy, but we haven't seen much out of Aero Kings because they just can't get their hands on the ball right now. Oh, that's a decent redirect denied by the joint. Mummy Snow is there for the second attempt. I would have liked to see Mummy Snow make a run downfield there, make an option for Flarky to pass it towards him. Instead, trying to go up for the same aerial, never a good idea.
And something that Aero Kings are doing very well right now, players are anticipating the save. They are basically just tapping it straight down and then trying to dribble it or just hit it straight out of their own half. But there is no one back right now. Mummy Snow, oh, the bounce too high for him as Flarky puts that one straight back down, and Radio can clear it back away. But once again, Prophecy are waiting, and they will get their first goal of this series.
Sniper, the man in the middle, does most of the work himself here. Mummy Snow just coming out of a 50-50. Pretty even, but Sniper was closer to the ball. Looks like Aero Kings are going to need to be a little bit more careful. If Sniper is going to continue to cheat up that closely, opportunities will present themselves whenever the ball spills close like that.
And that is a risk that you do run when you spend so much time stuck in your own final third. If anything goes wrong and you've got no one to cover you, that is a certain goal for any well-placed team. And an attempted shot to come through, could not quite get there as Cheerio just tried to sneak it. As Aero Kings seem to have woken up, realizing the position they are in, but Sniper tried to go for the dribble, but couldn't hook it onto his car close enough. It was an easy challenge.
And I do know that both Flarky and Cheerio are Swedish, so they get to play at their local event. Not sure about any of the others in this lobby, but I wouldn't be surprised. I know that a Sniper is Norwegian. The other three players are nationalities that I'm not aware of. Oh, nice plays by Radio. Nearly getting up at the near post. It won't matter, as the ball comes center to Cheerio regardless.
Sublime gameplay right there. Just takes up that sidewall, and then that little flick right there. Every single player expects you to try and push it in front of the net. Nope. Using the ball like it's FIFA Street, gets it off the side, and pass straight into the middle. Lovely play.
That side flip onto the wall had a faster recovery time than a side flip onto the ground, because he only had to rotate 270 degrees, and then he's back on his wheels, ready to continue moving. 1-1, just as close as we expected it, with Prophecy maybe being the slight favorites due to their longer time They have been able to pressure their opponents. That is pretty much what we expected going into this, or at least it's what myself and Karma expected. Shogun will be hoping that
I'm
the
not hoping
momentum
for
will
anything.
swing with that goal. In
I
Aero
went for
King's
the
favor.
upset because upsets happen whenever, and honestly, my predictions towards the end of the RLCS was just... I couldn't predict anything anymore, especially not in Europe. The leftovers pretty much ruined everything for me. That was a lovely pass straight over, but too much contact due to being under pressure. Final 10 seconds indeed. It is going to be the final opportunity for Prophecy, but that is going to be a miss. But still an opportunity here. Ball up high. That will be contested by one player as Cheerio tried to put it down to one of his teammates, but it is going to hit the floor, and we have hit overtime.
Overtime, and I certainly hope that Wavepunk is paying attention to Sniper's car. Beautiful dragon decal. It might enter the running for his favorite of the week. Oh my word, suddenly a couple of free shots. These near post shots are going uncontested where they really shouldn't be. It looks like they've escaped in
Aero
defense.
Kings have stolen this match, and there is no other way of saying that. It is a steal for them.
They've escaped a defensive blunder and one whiff from Mummy Snow. He did the right thing there, tried to rebound it wide of his own net, but he just completely missed the ball. And Aero Kings have taken game one in overtime. It didn't take long in overtime. They need to be careful at their near post, though. They're giving so many opportunities to Prophecy by just being that little bit hesitant to attack the ball at their own near post.
Yeah, it really is scary for Aero Kings. They have given up a lot of shots, but a lot of the shots have not been on target. It is a case of Prophecy need to sort out this accuracy. Otherwise, they have the opportunity of losing this series. A series that, yes, it is close, but it is looking like they should be winning. They're controlling the ball, they're controlling the pitch, they're controlling the boost, they're controlling the positioning. Yet, if you've got no finish to the end of that solution, what's there really for you to do?
And we did talk about this situation, a team of substitutes, or at least for the past season in RLCS, they have been substitute players. Will they have an in-game leader? Will they have the ability to come back from one game down? And although it's only one game down, they're on the brink now of dropping a series where you really can't afford to do that.
Yeah, but they are talking to each other. That's a good thing. They are talking to each other. They're getting information across, just nitpicking little things, as all teams do tend to do. And they'll be hoping that that will result in better results in game number 2. This is best of threes, as we have brought up numerous times throughout this broadcast, because it is a very short set and it's a very short series. Anything can go wrong in 2 games, and something has already gone wrong for Prophecy in 1 game. It can happen yet again.
Attempted pinch clear by Flarky and Sniper there, barely missing. They were both airborne for it. Would have been impressive if they could pull that off. Maybe lacking a little bit of synergy, have Prophecy. As we've seen, like you said, more pressure for them, but if they are missing out on that final opportunity, if they can't turn this pressure into meaningful shots on net, and maybe the final pass is really what's lacking here.
It's going to be an opportunity for them. They've put that off the top of the crossbar. Radio cannot react in time, and that will be a goal. Defenders find it very difficult to react to anything when it drops down like that.
Yeah, Sniper did a great job. He found an almost goal with his initial shot as the ball comes barred in and out like it has been doing a lot today, and it does make it awkward for almost everybody as you have to get up above the net, try and put the ball back down, but Sniper did so, and I believe that is his 2nd goal here on the day. The only goals that have been scored by Prophecy on stream. But they continue to be right back where they were in game 1. They're pressuring their opponents, trying to create chances, and barely falling short at the very, very final pass.
I am liking a lot of these passes, though, because these passes have been close enough from that corner to really bait out that defender in the net. They are trying to rush out, but they are not able to get to the ball on time. But the shooter does need to find the goal, and that's going to be rolling slowly towards the net, but Cheerio will be there on time, and there is the redirect. Cheerio
Nicely done.
Puts it into the net, and we are back to a tied game.
And Sniper was just hesitation personified right here. He had no idea which one of the Aero Kings was going to hit the ball because they're all in the vicinity, and really maybe should have been turning back to go to the goal as he was in no man's land when the shot came over his head. Tie game yet again. Are we going to see the similar story as we saw in the previous game? Oh, there's a great infield pass, and Flarky will finish. Finally, they've been able to find that service that has been lacking up until now. The last ball was good for once, and a great finish as well. Good placement.
I mean, that's the great thing. When you're coming in for those shots, you can place that wherever you want to. You can boost a little bit earlier, get it to the left side, or you can leave it a little while longer and shoot it to the right. Goalkeeper just has to flail and hope for the best a lot of the time. Here comes the follow-up by Mummy
nicely
Snow
done.
and Prospect. I'm bringing it back up. They're anything but it right now. Are pulling out all the stops and finding the speed that they need to start beating Aero Kings, and they are doing a very good job of it.
Yeah, they absolutely upped the speed right there. Flarkey was up before that ball, had any chance to cross the midfield, found the backboard. He might have been looking for a self-set double touch, but either way, Mummy Snow was up before the rebound. They both essentially pre-jumped that situation. So very, very fast play. Great ability to read the trajectory of the ball mid-air and mid-bounce. Interesting that Cheerio decides to take that ball away from both the goal and, of course, the defender. But it might have been better to just leave the ball to do the work there. Preserve his boost, get back into a position that is more useful. Oh my word, triple touch off the ceiling from Cheerio. My guys.
There's plenty of aerial points for you as well. So we're coming towards the halfway point. 2 goals separating these teams.
Make
3
it
goals
3.
separating these teams. I stand corrected. And this is much better right now from Prophecy. Something we're seeing a lot at this LAN environment is teams a bit shaky during game 1, but really finding their footing once they come back around for game number 2.
That's the second time that Sniper's passed the ball to himself. First off the backboard, now off the ceiling. And we did see Cheerio doing that for the Aero Kings, so definitely some lackadaisical defense from both teams. Taking a little bit too long to challenge the ball carrier. That can happen. We're talking a lot about the fact that these players on Prophecy are all substitute players for the past season, and they're all trying to fill the gaps. But what if they just need that one player who's going to play selfish and try to rush the ball in defense? Because sometimes they are getting a little bit too much space for Aero Kings to play with, and also the same can be said for Aero Kings and their failure to defend to the latter half of this game against Prophecy.
Oh wow,
What
Mummy
a
Snow
demo.
ended up missing the ball, but he'll be thankful that Cheerio didn't get any contact. 3 goals still separate. There is plenty of time to adjust that though, as that is going to be another shot put towards the net, but straight towards Mummy Snow. Will easily be able to defend it as we're coming up to the final 90 seconds. Prospect. It's now a habit. At this
You're
point.
going to get us in trouble.
I know, it's Prophecy at this point. But they have conceded 1 goal. 90 seconds remaining. And they need to do some defensive work to keep their lead intact.
I think they should have it under wraps. Barring some kickoff shenanigans here, I haven't seen enough from Aero Kings offensively to really believe that they can bring 2 forced errors out of Prophecy. Prophecy have been getting more consistent as the series has progressed. They did start a little bit shaky in terms of their ball striking ability. Just over a minute left now. Will we see game 3? It certainly looks like it. Aero Kings hanging on. So many demos, often by accident. Players just looking for the ball and catching opponents who happen to be nearby. Oh, pinch. Is that on net? Barely off. That looked like a bit of a weird bounce, and glad they were going to get to see it again because of the replay. Yeah, great hit by Mummy Snow.
We're seeing a lot of players rotating left to right, and that's the reason why we are getting a lot of these demos coming through. Usually a lot of players are a little bit more clean, just keep going forward and backwards at a slightly better rate, then don't usually collide with anyone on the pitch. But they are being caught, and 3 goals will probably mean the end of this game, and we'll go to our tiebreaker. Game number 3, Aero Kings will need to be doing much, much better because I'm going to say their name correctly this time.
Prophecy. Yes.
There we go. Have been looking on form ever since that first loss.
Absolutely. And as we get into the final 30 seconds, this has been the most one-sided game of the series. Of course, we did have the 1-0 lead for Prophecy, completely thwarted by Aero Kings in game 1, taking it 2-1 in overtime. The Sniper Kid with a couple of self-set plays. That one very impressive play from Flarkey and Mummy Snow off the backboard has enabled Prophecy to just have far too much firepower in attack for Aero Kings to deal with. Aero Kings need to try and make some faster interceptions if they want to win this. But we go to 1-1, a clean slate in the ace match. And so far, all of our predictions are possibly true. We're certainly right that this is the closest series of the day, I think.
Yep, certainly were. Now it's time for one of these players, if not all of these players on the team, to step up and take this game 3. Because at the end of the day, these teams are aiming much higher than their opponents. They'll be thinking that on either side. So this is a must-win. If you really want to be getting into the money, both of these teams are looking at this like, if we don't beat them, what chance do we have against the Methods, the Rogues, the F3s, the Gale Forces?
Yeah.
It's, you know, this is a must-win.
I believe that Prophecy came in here as the 8th seed, so expecting to make the money. Of course, top 8 is the money here, and that does mean that Aero Kings slightly outside the top 8 in the seeding, but they've shown that they can definitely, if they bring their A game and Prophecy make a couple of mistakes here and there, it could go in their favor. They've set themselves up for success here. Just one more win is all they need, and they'll progress with the first seed from this group, I believe. Need to have another look at the group for Prophecy and Aero Kings. I'm not sure if there will be another top tier team in here, but moving into game 3, closest series of the day continues. Who is going to clutch it? I've got my money on Prophecy. Shogun said Aero Kings going into this.
I'm not putting any money on that. I'm very stingy.
Still feeling confident?
I'm very stingy, okay? Also, no, not that confident. Not after that last game. Almost even less confident after Sniper almost put that goal in, but ended up whiffing. And now Aero Kings, as they did during that first game, get away. Cheerio's going to try and continue to follow up, but there's not much available for them right now, apart from a waiting Prophecy defense. And now Flarky is going to look at his opportunity. He puts that one straight back down, and he does it by himself. The rear admiral for Flarky.
Flarky looking really happy with himself here. Gets a nice dunk, comes off the wall, puts the ball right in at a tight angle. You can see the respect there from Aero Kings. They knew he was going for that play. They knew there's a good chance he's hitting it. And Flarky with perhaps his best goal of the series, perhaps his best goal of the day. One of the best we've seen in terms of solo efforts, for sure.
In terms of genuine, because we saw a lot of goals earlier on between Gale Force, but that was the first one that had a genuine defense against it.
Oh,
that
what
really
a goal by
Sniper.
Sniper!
Okay, Prophecy are here to play.
We talked about the individual plays, now the team play. Sniper taking it away from Radio, and he finds the crossbar, the post, and the goal, all with one hit. Beautifully done. Prophecy looking like a brand new team all of a sudden. And I did really quickly check. This is the number 1 and 2 seeds in their group. There are 2 other teams in the group, but these are the top 2. And it may well be the 8th and 9th seeds in this tournament, which would explain why it is so close. Oh my word, and now Mummy Snow steps up to the plate.
They've all had one.
Self-set double touch.
They've all had one for themselves. Mummy Snow just coming out. He gets himself in the perfect position. The ball coming off the bottom or the top of his car actually set him up really well just to continue the rotation around and take the shot.
He knew exactly what he was going for there. He realized he can't get high enough above the ball in the initial flight path, so he hits it straight at the wall, and then right away he readjusts his car to get the fast hit down the way. Right now, he knows he can get above this one. The far lower pass easily hit into the wide open net. Love the pass though. Sniper blind pass to the center. That's great communication from them.
Prophecy are just putting the ball into the air. Aero Kings have no response to anything right now, and it has resulted in a 4-0 lead, and we are barely even 90 seconds. Prophecy have sucked out all of the tension in this final game.
And with goals like these, you gotta wonder, how far can Prophecy go? We were talking about top 8 being the expectation as the 8th seed coming in here. But if they can play this well offensively, they're going to score against anybody at this tournament. It doesn't matter who you are, you're going to struggle to defend against these goals. Great solo efforts. The team play also on point for 2 of their 4 goals so far. Defensively, they have looked a little bit shaky, and they started off this series hitting the ball very, very poorly, but it did not take them long to find their feet, and now they're looking like a real contender for the money tomorrow and moving on into the tournament, perhaps deeper, top 4, perhaps.
Yes, and going on about your point about the offense that they have been pulling out, a lot of it has been not even giving Aero Kings an opportunity to challenge. You've got double taps off that backboard, you've got passing plays straight towards the middle of the field, and then you've got rear admirals coming out. None of those really offer themselves opportunities to be tackled unless you have read that they're going to happen way before that they actually do. So Aero Kings really need to find something. This might be their opportunity, but I almost feel like they should have just committed all three to that. Instead, the final third shows against it. What is the difference between a 4 and a 5-0? You need to just keep it going.
But with only 2 minutes left, Aero Kings need to do something drastic. Right now, all they're able to conjure is some defensive clears, but nothing more than possession being given away. Prophecy will gladly accept all of these possession donations. But there we go. Finally, Solith to himself off the backboard. I do love that he's able to hit that high with confidence. Can't convert on this occasion, though, and they need to score every chance they're going to get if they want to take this series.
Yep, time is still ticking away for them. Final 100 seconds. Mummy Snow gets enough contact. He's going to get that into the corner where it will be safe. But Aero Kings with their first opportunity. 2 players committed, though, will mean that this rotation will break down as Cherio had to rotate himself back. Radio just trying to take this over the top, but every single time, Prophecy holding that middle line very well, not allowing anything to come towards them. And it's something that Rocket League teams have got so much better at as time goes along. Used to be very large goal swings, but now when a team has got a lead, very difficult to try and pry it away from them.
Their challenging of the ball has been spectacular for the fourth game, or for the third game of this series. Making sure that whenever somebody does step forward, there is someone else ready to back them up should they fail on their challenge. And it really makes the challenge less of a fail and more of an enabling tactic. It just enables someone who's further back with a better position to step in after you force the player who's trying to dribble you or take you out the game with a backboard pass to relinquish the possession that they currently have. And we're seeing Prophecy are just breaking down every attack at the first opportunity, sending someone at the ball, like we talked about in Game 2. They just need somebody to be selfish and go at the ball with confidence to enable his teammates behind him to then step forward after the fact.
Yep, and we were saying that they needed 4 goals 2 minutes ago. We are now at the final 15 seconds. Aero Kings have struggled to put anything past this clean sheet, and it looks like it shall remain. Prophecy struggled Game 1, but have dominated in Game 3. They will take the win.
And we're looking across at a very happy-looking Karma. Her prediction stands to be correct. Not so much to be said about Shogun's
It was looking good for the
upset
first
call.
game.
Yeah, it did look good for the first game and the first goal of Game 2, but that was about it, because after that, it was the Prophecy show. They were able to take this first seed and second seed in the group.